this town. Gypsies out this late. What's that? Hey! Get out of the way! Come on, dude! Where am I? Some sort of warehouse. Someone's calling? Calling me again. I never know. Who's on the other end? Hello?
Watch where you're going. It's time. Get it together.
It's a big goofball. Big complexity.
Oh my god! Wow, I'm not dreaming after all. I'm actually headed backstage to the set of Carmen in post-Franco Spain. San Francisco Opera is staging a reimagined adaptation.
She's less in your face about how she uses her sexuality and her kind of power over men, and is more, in my opinion, about her self-confidence. It's more interesting for me because I can act more and do a little less with my body in that way. But I did read some reviews, which, you know, some people choose not to do, but it's hard not to. You know, we're always on our phones and it's hard to ignore those things. And it seemed like the critics didn't receive it so well, and their opinions really seemed to match those of the critics when the opera premiered.
What about those cars? The production requires 6 1980s era Mercedes-Benz W123 model cars.
Sometimes we find them, sometimes we build them. In this case, it was a little bit of both. I mean, ones that already had a problem with the engine, fantastic, because we're taking the engine out anyway.
You know, the music gets really passionate and loud and high, and it sounds aggressive, but the emotions I have to communicate are the exact opposite.
Why do you think there was a need or desire to reinvent Carmen and modernize it?
I mean, unfortunately, none of us had the privilege to meet Calixto Bieito. We met his longtime collaborator, who now does all the revivals of this Carmen. He loves the opera, and the opera feels very close to his heart because he is Spanish. But every time, since it's such a popular opera, every time they saw it being performed, he always found it, or they always found it to be a bit offensive because it was just full of cliches and it was so unrealistic and it didn't actually paint a real picture of Spain.
Of course, much as we would love to clean the windows, then they reflect lights on stage, so we've had to dirty up the windows in order to keep that from happening. But in the action of the show, they're stomped on, and so the rebuilding process was that we had to make them support weight.
Miraculously, you know, for every 10 auditions that, even though I thought went well, I didn't get anything from them, there was one that would end up opening more doors.
From its debut in 1875 to Bieito's version, Carmen has disturbed and delighted audiences. Her defiant honesty and sexually charged confidence draws on her complex relationship with women and power, loved and hated.
What are you doing backstage?
Just ignore her.